1965 war, which is considered to be one of the finest hours when Pakistan's Air Force came up trumps against a quantitatively superior Indian Air Force. So, sir, if you could please walk us through what was the morale, capability, and war planning differential at that time, which distinguished Pakistan Air Force in that unequal combat.
Thank you very much for hosting me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Look, 65 war definitely was a defining moment, and it was the first conflict in which we definitely did much better than the Indian military, and especially the Pakistan Air Force came out to be a symbol of pride for the nation, and also a darling of the whole Pakistan for its achievement. And it also lived up to the expectations of Qaeda-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, where he said that a country without a strong air force is at the mercy of any aggressor. So Pakistan must build up its air force as quickly as possible. It should be a strong air force and it should be second to none. So that was his expectation from the very start. And look at his, vision and his expectations that today we can say that without air force you cannot win any war. Exactly. And it is a prerequisite that you have to win the air battle before you have to win the war. And that has been manifested in the recent conflicts throughout the globe, actually. Having said that, 65 war, after Pakistan came into being, we were Royal Pakistan Air Force. And for first decade, we were being, our air chiefs were mostly from British origin. And that was the time when we started to have the basics of Air Force getting settled as far as its policies are concerned, its infrastructure, its standardization, etc. But most of our equipment was British. So to cut it short, that was one period where at least we were able to have an independent air force. And because of the Battle of Britain, both United States and Britain were very clear about this fact that Pakistan, whatever air force has to be, it has to be independent. Uh, After the first decade, it was Asghar Khan Saab who became the first Pakistani or the local air chief, and he is also known as the founding father of Pakistan Air Force. He had a lot of experience in Second World War also and pre-partition as well, and he was the one who and just about 1 or 2 years before that, the American military assistance has started to come in. So he, along with his team, decided that in future, whatever aircraft we take, we should have American system in our Air Force. Because overall, if you see the environments, Britain was a dying power and America was a rising power. And American were very much particular about their research and development. American aircraft industry had really done wonders in the Second World War also, and after that also they had given a lot of concentration onto the aviation part and its technology. So the American system at that time was F-86, which was one of the latest system, and Pakistan decided to have that system into its inventory. So that was one of the first revolutionary period, I would say, for Pakistan Air Force, where we started to have American systems, its practices, its training, tactics and procedures, its publications, its maintenance publications as well as procedures, and its logistic systems as well. So that was the time where we first had F-86s in 1958, when Asghar Khan Saab was the air chief. And subsequently, we also had F-104s also coming into the inventory of Pakistan Air Force in 61. So these two weapon systems were state-of-the-art weapon systems and gave a lot of impetus to the strength of Pakistan Air Force. Along with that, Asghar Khan Saab was very particular about institutionalizing the combat procedures of Pakistan Air Force, and he created the first fighter leader school, which subsequently became the Combat Commander School, and today it is the APA Center of Excellence. And that is where we started to have standardization in our combat training. And till today, we have been able to produce few of the finest fighter pilots because of that institution which was there. And thereafter, in those years, there was a team of fighter pilots and professionals who, along with Asghar Khan Saab, took Pakistan Air Force to a newer heights. So the three things which were very defining, at which has been acknowledged by our enemy also in various publications and assessments and analysis about 65 war, that why Pakistan Air Force was able to outperform Indian Air Force. The first thing was the leadership, young, bold, dynamic leadership, which was visible in the shape of Asghar Khan Saab as well as Noor Khan Saab. Second thing was our training, and that training was because of the institutionalization of this and the start of the fighter leader school, and again that was mainly from the American training, which we got all the different procedures, etc., and publications, and we were able to implement the latest techniques of energy maneuverability and how to do the combat training and how to do close combat basically, which became a trademark of Pakistani fighter pilots in 65 war. And last thing I would say was the we being into the camp of the American or the Western camp, whereas India, on the other hand, was mainly taking the equipment from Russia and was following that Russian procedures. The difference was that the Western, or mainly the Americans, always considered Air Force to be an independent service and not being an adjunct of Army or Navy. Whereas in case of India or in case of Russia, they always were taking decisions or dictation from these services. Whereas we always thought, along with the Western, that you have to take control of the air first and beat the enemy in the air before the ground battle or the naval battle can be won subsequently. So this was very much obvious and very much clear in 65 war also. And these were few of the factors which were important for us.